They were trying to pass all sorts of gun bans, restricting guns in Texas. They were property grabbing. They were doing it nationally. And I said, I'm going to stand up against these people. And in 17 years seems like a long time. That is just a flash in the pan, a twinkling of the eye in the scheme of time. And think of how much America's changed in 17 years just since I got in the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see more change now in the next 5 than we've seen the last 50. And it's not going to be for the good. I mean, the system has done this consciously. And the realization that vicious, wicked people who want to do bad are in control. Now, old-timers always knew that. The Founding Fathers said that. And they try to train cops in these training seminars and stuff that, you know, we're dangerous, we're crazy. You know, those that talk about government being big and dangerous, they're bad, like the Founding Fathers. I mean, I have that on video, FEMA teaching police that. And the cops believe it, a lot of them. They're like, the people talking about freedom and the Constitution, they're the ones that blew up Oklahoma City. Yeah, right. That was Bill Clinton's people. So, this isn't a game. This isn't a game. And all of you that thought you'd sit on the bench, you'd sit on the sidelines, you'd stay out of the fight, you're the ones they're going to gobble on first. And those of you that serve the evil, from my historical study, you are in the most dangerous position there is. The system eats its own more often than any other group. All right, going back to Al and then others. Al, finish up your point.
What they're doing, Alex, is they're eating out our sustenance, okay? People think that they're going to be pushing buttons and looking at computers the rest of their lives, and they're going to have it made. Let me tell you something. God, guns, and tools. You better know how to use them. You better know how to get out of the ground with some shelter if you really care about saving your family. And I have to tell you something. These colleges, Harvard, Oxford, Columbia, are indoctrinating and really putting out the nastiest kind of progressive leftist, dangerous. They're, like I said, they're after us. It's not a game. It's not a joke, and it's not, you know, some psyop. This is a real takedown of the human species all over the world. I really believe that Britain is the culprit. Britain is the catalyst. They're the ones, they've been doing this to us for what, 200 years?
They developed a lot of the systems we're under. Tavistock Institute, all of it, that and other scientists out of Europe and the U.S., they developed the scientific dictatorship. And people need to know, this is not a guy in a Hitler outfit who, there's the enemy, beat him. This is a system where they scientifically study us, and as you said, try to bring down the species itself. It is a rewriting of humanity. It is a final revolution of absolute pit of hell evil. This is unspeakable end of humanity as we know it if they win. I mean, this is absolute. It can only be Satan. I mean, it is Satan. Even if you don't believe in the devil, it might as well be a 5,000-foot black demon. I mean, you know, it's here, it's real, it wants death. The globalists want pain, suffering, death. They like to kill. They like ugliness. They like war. It's death. People just, I mean, I listen to how gullible and soft talk radio listeners are, how they call in and try to be cutesy, and how the talk shows talk to them like they're 5 years old. And it's just so, I mean, to see what they've done with TV and fluoride to the American people. Because the globalists hated us. We were the freest, most aggressive, most inventive people. We were the enemy. And now they took us over, they sold us out, and they turned us into jellyfish creatures. And then those of us that aren't jellyfish creatures, not that I'm some great guy, but compared to them, you know, we're in better shape. We are being absolutely demonized, and giant armies of just murdering psychos are being readied for war with us. And the thing is, these control freaks, the murdering psychos, the Dudley Do-Right idiot robots, all of these different types they've got working for them, they're just minions. They're not even worth anything. I'm not looking for some fight with them. I wish I could free their minds, free their souls. They're just fallen goblins. I mean, they are literally just tread grease to the New World Order. It's just so sad. It's so sad. And America is being judged. This is the beginning of the judgment of this country. And it is going to be absolute hell. I appreciate your call. Take us out to break. Anything else, Al?
Alex?
Yeah.
They're following the Hitler handbook. Anybody who doesn't know history better get into it. It's here. It's not coming. It's already here. It's been 30 years in the works. We are down on the back, on the mat. This is it.
And the vampires are putting on their napkins around their necks and rubbing their hands together like giant rats.
We're on the mark. 13 made his great-grandchildren believe.
Okay, I want to race through your calls so I can go through the rest of the news I haven't hit yet. And then we'll be back tonight with InfoWars Nightly News, 7 o'clock. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be honest. And see, the globalist, you can have 300 and something thousand people die from bad drug interactions every year. The media doesn't really report it, so nobody's worried about it. You can have a 3,000% increase in most forms of cancer in the last 30 years. Media has it as a footnote, so people aren't worried about it. You can have governments stealing bank accounts and other things. Media doesn't make a big deal out of it. Nobody cares. But they start hyperventilating about terrorist attacking, and you got a better chance of being killed by honeybees or snake bites or whatever. It's way down the list of dangers, but it's so much fun to get scared and hate the foreigner. I mean, it's all manipulation. And then you look at who's actually funding Al-Qaeda, and it's the globalists, the same banks that run us. And it's hidden right there. And a lot of good old boys, they don't really care about America. As long as they can hate Arabs, that's all they want. The government could take everything from them, their children, their lives. As long as they could hate Arabs, they're happy. Of course, if they ever actually met the average Arab, they'd like them. It's pretty much like a Middle Eastern redneck or something. But it doesn't matter. That's what they want, is that tribalism, because 5,000 years ago, if you didn't stick with your tribe when it was under attack, your tribe didn't survive. It is one of the strongest instincts. I get it. My country, right or wrong, Al-Qaeda hit us, murder every brown person. They did it. And that is why we failed. And now they're going with tribalism with all these TV ads where every terrorist is white, middle-aged conservative white male or woman. And the minorities like it just as much. They've been taught Whitey's out to get them. Whitey's been taught they're out to get them. And now, first they teach Whitey, the brown people are terrorists. Give your rights up to get them. Okay, get the brown people. Even if you're not even racist, it's more of a tribalism. Then they've gone to the brown people. Okay, now it's Whitey. They're like, all right, I understand Whitey's a terrorist. Now you're talking. Now, see, everybody's a terrorist. And we have this article. In fact, I don't think we printed it. I've gone through all my news. Even if we have printed it. Just print it again for me. Here's some of the headlines. Following Iowa surge, Ron Paul polls second in New Hampshire. Tell you he could win, folks. He could win the Republican nomination. MF Global looted customers' accounts via internal bank run. DOJ make it a federal crime to lie on the internet. Jim Rogers on why there's no way to stop global meltdown. DHS link group trains citizens their best pal could be a terrorist. Yeah, that's the article. And there it is telling you that you can't trust anybody but government. You can't trust anybody. And that's what the telescreens tell you now. They're putting up in public places. No one can be trusted but the government. You mean the government that got the underwear bomber on the plane on Christmas Day? You mean that's on record? That's on record? You mean the government that got the shoe bomber on the plane on record? The government that protected Major Hassan for 2 years when they knew what he was planning and declared national security on it? You mean that government? Yeah, I mean that government. It's not a government. It's a collection of criminals that took over the government and are now disassembling checks and balances, the Bill of Rights and Constitution. And then the last 40 years, they did psychological tests to not hire tough guys like they used to be cops. But now they've hired sociopaths, brutal people who enjoy the raw exercise of power. And our journey into hell is almost complete. Almost complete. And if they keep moving this fast, there'll be a day you're not going to hear me or anybody else on the air. And the real darkness is going to settle. And they're going to scare you with bioweapon releases. They're going to have a whole cocktail of ways to get you lined up. And they're going to blame those that won't take the vaccines for its spreading. I can foresee their entire plan. Just think like the enemy. Study the enemy. Think like the enemy. I am in their mind. I see through their eyes, and it is horrible. And all they see is all the innocents they get to hurt, all the people they get to torture. The journey is the destination for these people. They're priests of power, always pressing on the nerve of power, always trampling and being trampled. A society that measures success by how much they degenerate, how much they fall apart. You're like, that's an extreme view of history. Really? That's the norm when good people don't stand up and band together. That's the norm when you don't have morals. We have allowed evil in. It has grown. It has taken over the high places. America is now a command base of pure evil. And so are most other countries. You know, one of their most elementary manipulations is to point out some other evil country and say, well, choose a side. Choose a side. It's all give up my rights or whatever because of some foreign enemy. You know, as if I'm against a new war, I'm for that enemy. No, I'm not for that enemy, and I'm not for you either. Okay. We'll go to your calls here in a moment and then back into that news. Diamond Gusset Jeans. Diamond Gusset Jeans has a whole line of new jeans in all styles for men and women. Go to gussetclothing.com, Gusset clothing.com, and take a look at the great American-made product. From the field to the factory, all Diamond Gusset jeans are made right here in America. Whether you are looking for bootcut, slim fit, or Kevlar reinforced like the Defender motorcycle jeans, you can find something for every member of your family. Check them out today at gussetclothing.com or 888-8-GUSSET. That's 8888-GUSSET. 48, that's 48's Gusset today. Gusset Clothing. Right here in America. I know a lot of you are under mind control trance. You physically can't buy something made in America, so I'm sorry for you. Also, innerfood.com. Our friends over at Inner Health Botanicals are a fantastic company. If you've tried to, you know, exercise, whatever, don't have the energy, well, try taking Inner Food, 20 superfoods, if you're feeling sick and tired. You need to give some of their products a try, as I said. They have a wide selection of some of the best natural supplements, superfoods, and more that you'll find on their website, innerfood.com. That's innerfood.com, the award-winning superfood endorsed by Mike Adams and the Southwest School of Naturopathy. Now it's even vacuum sealed for long-term storage for years. They have the NutriCafe, healthy coffee, coconut, milk butter. They've got it all. ENERfood.com or 866-762-9238, 866-762-9238, innerfood.com. And finally, efoodsdirect.com holiday special. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find their list of specials, including free sample packs at efoodsdirect.com/Alex or 800-876-0871. They have a bunch of different holiday specials going right now. You'll never stand in a bread line if you have your own bread. This is the place to get truly high-quality, storable foods. efoodsdirect.com. Check them out today. efoodsdirect.com or 800-876-0871. And it is the sponsors that make this transmission to a great extent possible. Let's go ahead and take some calls here. Who's been holding the longest now? Scott and